So basically, last week, maybe about 3 or 4 days ago, there was a hack on the biggest exchange or the biggest DEX on Sui, which is called Cetus. It's probably the biggest DEX on both Sui and Aptos. It's quite big on both
Oh,
chains.
it's on Aptos as well.
Yeah, I believe so.
Ah, I never knew that.
So I use Cetus whenever I'm on Sui buying buying my meme coins. Anyway, they got hacked. The way they got hacked was that somebody exploited an overflow in a piece of code regarding the liquidity pools. So what they were able to do was add 1 unit of something to a liquidity pool. So maybe it might be like one FUD the pug, or Pepe's not on that chain, but the equivalent of one Pepe or one whatever. And once they've added that one, they could tell the liquidity pool, actually, I've added 1 billion. And
Right,
then they'll
okay.
add one, but the liquidity pool will think that this person now owns 99% of it. They can then withdraw the 99% that they didn't actually own. So that's how it worked. And they did that. They withdrew about $223 million worth from the Cetus protocol in under 24 hours.
Have they managed to wash any of this yet, or is it
No.
still?
So
Because
they've
the only thing I did hear was a freeze of some sort.
So they did put a freeze on it. So the way that SUI works is that you have validators. Now the validators can all come together and say, right, we're not going to process any transactions from this address. So they realized where the stolen funds were and they immediately moved to freeze them. So the attacker managed to move about 80 million off of the chain, or about 60 million they managed to move off of the chain. The other 162, the validators are blocking. The fact that the validators are blocking it, some people are complaining and they're saying, oh, this makes the chain centralized, wow, because they feel like if you steal all that, it should just remain stolen. I think that being decentralized doesn't mean that you have to be stupid. So if somebody has clearly stolen 200 million, you should be allowed to collectively say, we are not going to process those transactions. Bearing in mind that if a sizable chunk of the validators decide to process the transactions will still go through. An example of that would be when Ethereum, some validators did not block Tornado Cash or people who had used Tornado Cash.